So I'm going to ask Alan and ask everybody to put themselves on mute. So everybody, welcome to another meeting of the Rotary Club of Livermore. We're glad to have you all here today. And so I do have sad news to share today, and that is that our own Bruce Shore passed away on Saturday morning at Kaiser up in Walnut Creek due to pancreatic cancer. I think, as you recall, a couple months ago, Bruce shared one of his last wanted to do a find himself and share about his writing of his publication, professional publication that he did. And I know that I will miss him dearly. It was always wonderful to walk into our meetings and be greeted by Bruce and his warm handshake and warm smile. So he'll be dearly missed. I ask that you see the address there is for his wife, Randy, if you'd like to send cards. Obviously, we're not passing one around at the meeting, so I encourage you all to send a sympathy card to Randy, and Bruce will be dearly missed. And so the pledge, Debbie Peck, I saw you there. Would you be willing to lead the pledge for us? And I ask everybody else to leave put yourselves on mute. Debbie there, I saw her earlier. No, I'm not hearing from Debbie. I'm not seeing her right now to see if she's muted. Dennis, would you lead us in the pledge?
I'd be glad to. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dennis.
I'd like to introduce the song this week. Neither Stu nor Michael were available to prepare a song, so I invited a friend to present a song from an earlier time of peril in our country.
Thank you very much, Alan. Perfect choice for today. Jeff Youngsma, your thought for the day.
Okay, well, obviously anybody who signs on early knows that I have a lot of thoughts and I talk to myself a lot. So trying to narrow it down to one, and actually it took me a little bit of time. So I'm gonna go a little off the cuff here for a bit and then I'll get right back on topic. To me, I'm always somebody that really notices change, always welcomes change. I've been known sometimes as a change agent. And I was gonna kind of go that general direction. I think that's part of what drew me to Rotary. And then I ended up reading an article, heard a couple of podcasts on social trust. And I kind of thought that, you know what? I'm going to single everything out. I'm going to talk about social trust. My kids didn't know anything about it. And so for the first time, I could be this leader in social trust. And so my New Year's resolution was going to be about social trust. And then when we were all on our last meeting, so 6 days into everything, we see what happened at the Capitol. And I started really going down that rabbit hole. I was actually following the news so much, communicating with my friends up in Canada, communicating with my friends in England. Everybody's asking me what's going on, that I actually had to go into a news blackout. And this big, long story to lead you on to my thoughts of the day. So since I couldn't watch the news or follow anything in the news, what I ended up doing was reading a book that I had, which was based on a YouTube video that I watched from Admiral William McRaven, and he addressed the University of Texas. Now, a little bit about Admiral William McRaven is he is one of the few admirals who was in a special operations that actually achieved the rank of admiral, all the way up to where he could be a 4-star admiral prior to retiring out. And he wrote a book called If You Want to Change the World, Make Your Bed. And he had 10 things that you needed to do based on Navy SEAL training. So he and I have chewed some of the same dirt and had some common ground. But I reread that book and it kind of gave me some focus on what it was. So the 10 rules to change the world are going to be this. And I apologize, I thought I got a slide over, but it didn't happen. So you're just going to have to bear with me. If you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. To change the world, find someone to help you paddle. If you want to change the world, measure a person by the size of their heart, not by the size of their flippers. If you want to change the world, get over being a sugar cookie and keep moving forward. Don't be afraid of the circuses. Sometimes you have to slide down the obstacle head first. Don't back down from sharks. If you want to change the world, you must be your very best in the darkest moment. If you want to change the world, start singing when you're up to your neck in mud. And if you want to change the world, don't ever, ever ring the bell. And so how does this really apply to us? Or at least I'm going to be specific with me. I gave you 10 things, and it really comes down to this. If we start each day with a task completed, if we find somebody to help us through life, if we respect everyone, if we know that life is not fair, then you will fail often. But if we're willing to take some risks, step up when the times are toughest, face down the bullies, rise up to the occasion, lift up the downtrodden and give them hope, and we never, ever give up. Sure sounds like a lot of Rotarians, doesn't it? If we do these things, then we will live in a world far better than the one we have today. That is my thought for the day.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Very appropriate and a lot of good words of wisdom for us to all keep in mind for those 10 ways to change the world. So our meeting front line, Jeff is double duty, is our Zoom host as always. Carol is our Spur reporter today. Alan was AV and then also selected our wonderful song for the day. Kathy will be our Spur publisher. Sheila is our Zoom greeter and did a wonderful job with that. And David will be monitoring the Zoom chat. So at this point, we're going to introduce our visitors and guests and visiting Rotarians. We are not going to be introducing all of our grant recipients today. You'll hear from them each individually as we go through that part of the program. But I would like to say a welcome from to all of those people from me, and then also visiting Rotarians. I know we have at least one visiting Rotarian, Gary Schweigerly. Gary, if you'd like to just unmute yourself and say hello.
Hello, fellow Rotarians. Happy New Year. Happy healthy. Stay COVID free. Wear your mask. It's highly contagious, but good Lord willing, we'll all survive.
Hi,
All
Gary.
right, thank you. Welcome, Gary. And guests, I know that Daniel Pryor is with us today. Daniel, welcome.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you guys all in the new year.
Good to see you again. And do we have any other guests who are not grant recipients with us today? Or any other visiting Rotarians? Okay, so up next, just a photo from one of my walkabouts. And this is a photo you've seen before, but it was a photo that I showed you shortly after Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away. But I'm showing this flag at half staff again today in honor of the Capitol police officers who died last week, and that the flag flying at half mast at the Capitol. And just like Jeff, this has been a week of a lot of reflection and a lot of thinking about what am I called to do? And speaking to you as fellow Rotarians, I think one of the things I'm called to do, and we are all called to do as Rotarians, is to remember the four-way test and our principles of Rotary. And that is, when we're speaking and interacting with others, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? And so one of my resolutions for this year is to also keep in mind that I have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and to listen to others and to listen to others with grace and understanding. And we'll come back to this picture. Remember this, and we'll come back to it later. All right, up next, I'd like to invite Sheila to share a member talk with us. Sheila.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited to see everybody. This is, I've missed a few weeks. I've been at work helping on the phone, so unfortunately you can't do a Zoom and answer the phones. Anyway, member talk. There's, most of you know me, but there's some of you that don't, that are fairly new. So a little bit about Sheila. My maiden name's Cardoza. I was born in Livermore. I was actually born at St. Paul's Hospital. And many of you know it's a convalescent hospital now. So, you know, there could be going first full circle. I might be visiting there again, who knows. I went to school in Livermore. I went to a one-room school. It was Inman School, which was actually out there on 580 by the casino. And when you graduated, you went to the next row. So I was very blessed to be able to do that. And actually, fast forward, my son went to the one-room school in Mountain House. So kind of an experience that not many people get to do these days. My mom, Laverne Sacco, and my dad, George Cardoza, both born and raised in Livermore, as were their parents. My grandpa Sacco was born here in 1886. So my roots kind of go deep in this community, and I do love to say it's my town. I have 2 sisters, Debbie and Gloria, and they live in Delhi and Valley Springs. My son Armando, he's, and I just have the one child, he's going to school and working. I live in Livermore. I've always lived in Livermore. I live on a ranch with my husband, Paul, and we both obviously to live in Alameda County work full time. And we do run a cattle ranch, and we have all the assorted animals, as you've probably seen over the years, or actually since we started Zoom, my chickens and dogs and horses and cows. I've always lived on a ranch, so it's something that's come very natural to me, and I definitely do enjoy it. I love volunteering. I love being part of my community. I'm also, besides being involved in the Rotary, which is probably one of the clubs that I'm very proud of to be a part of. I love what you all do. And when I was asked to join by my company, I was so excited to be a part of what you all do in our town and beyond. I also am involved in the Livermore Rodeo Association, and this year I'm president. I'm also president of the Livermore Junior Rodeo Association. I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce, and I pretty much volunteer anywhere I can when we can make a difference in our town, which makes me very proud. Currently, right now, obviously, I'm so blessed to be able to still be working, been working from home, and also working in the field and lurking behind those businesses by the dumpsters, as many of you see me around town, but I'm at least able to get out of the house. Right now, for me, I'm definitely looking forward to this pandemic to wind down and us be able to come back to some sense of normalcy. I'm actually kind of communicating with a lot of groups to find out what can I do to make a difference? And actually with some of my other organizations, how can we volunteer? What can we do? I want to be part of the solution. So I think it just is ingrained in me. And I love, I guess that's why I love Rotary so much, because you all want to be part of the solution. You want to make a difference. And I definitely like being a part of that. So in short, that's my little life. I don't really have anything exciting. No world traveling, pretty much hang out in 94550, but I do love it here. So that's a little bit about Sheila.
Thank you very much, Sheila. And we're very grateful that you like to hang out in 94550 and are a proud Rotarian. We're very fortunate to have you as a member of our club. So an update on the Rick King District Speech Contest. The speech contest is happening this year, but it's going to be done virtually. So our club has opted to not participate in the district's speech contest this year. If students go back to school in person later this spring, our goal would be to have our own speech contest at the club level. Other clubs in our area are continuing to participate in the speech contest in the hybrid format, and including the morning club. So if there are students at Livermore High who are really want to participate in the speech contest this year, they will have that opportunity to do so. So I did want to give you that update. That's one of the things for our club that is going by the wayside. And through a discussion I had with one of the school board members, I think that's the right decision for us. Okay, so it's a fine time. Oh, if we had a time fine for every time we needed to tell somebody to unmute or put themselves on mute, we'd be really rich. So I would think, Kimberly, you like to go walking through Sycamore Grove, don't you?
I do, as a matter of fact. Guilty as charged.
Yeah, and if we go back a couple, you saw that photo, remember, when we were, and we saw that bench. Does everybody remember? I don't know if it's easy for Alan for you to go back to that. Tell us a little bit about this, Kimberly.
Yeah, so Sunday, my daughter and I decided to take a walk in Sycamore Grove, and we were walking along. We were about the 2-mile mark, and we were ready to turn around, but thought maybe we would sit on a bench for a little while and kind of fuel up for the, we're kind of out of shape, I guess you could say. So for the 2-mile hike back to the car, and noticed that we were sitting on a Rotarian bench. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So how much were you inspired by that, Kimberly?
Well, all things considered, I would like to join the President's Club this year. So I will do that. And thank you for the Koopmans for allowing us to sit on your bench on Sunday afternoon.
Well, thank you very much for joining the President's Club, Kimberly. All right, and just an update from the morning club. They are holding their annual Super Bowl poll, and it's actually should be pool, and I think that's my typo when I gave it to Alan. And this is for their fundraising event for their Thanksgiving meals. It's $20 a square. The proceeds are the winners get $250 per quarter. If you're interested, email Lori Souza. I know the squares are going fast, and she can give you the information on how to get the funds to her. I know Venmo's an option, and she probably has other options as well.
I think it actually rhymes better with this spelling.
Yes. Okay. And then an announcement for, we've talked about this before. One of the things that's happening at the district level is a district book club. And this is for fellow Rotarians in the district who are authors. And the next book club will be on January 27th. And John Lipp will be discussing the creation of his books, the Monsters Anonymous Club. And so this is a children's series, but if you'd like, so you don't need to read the book, you can. They're available on Amazon, but you can hear John, share his story about being an author of children's books. So there is the link to register. And if I could ask somebody to also put that in the chat as well. And then next week, we will be meeting next week. So I think we just need to be optimistic going off of Jeff's thought for the day that we will be having a successful inauguration next week. It'll be in the morning. So by the time we meet, that will have the main festivities for the inauguration will have taken place. And we will be hearing from Dr. Paul Endino from UCSF about Polio Plus and the controlling the COVID pandemic, and then also where we're going for the new polio vaccines. So important work still continues during trying times. And up next, I'd like to invite Mary Ann and David Darlington to introduce us to the Winter Club Grant recipients. Mary Ann.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure as the Club Grant Committee Chair, along with my co-chair, Barbara Hickman, to award grants to our valued teachers and community groups. I would like to recognize for their great work and time commitment our committee members, and they are Pat Coyle, Sheila Fargiano, Carol Garrett, Kimberly Grundle, Jim Hannon, Patricia Lord, Niall Runge, Randy Schlintz, Hank Shea, Clark Streeter, and Kathy Streeter. I also want to acknowledge our partner for school grants, the Livermore Valley Education Foundation representative, David Darlington. Without the LVEF support, Rotary could not be near as generous with our grants. So David, could you chime in a little bit and just say hello and tell us about Livermore Valley Education Foundation?
Sure. Thank you very much, Marianne. Whenever I get the email from you saying, hey, we got applications in, I kind of get pretty excited, and I get out the word to as many people as I can. And it's always just a joy to know that, especially this year, the needs are varied, diverse, unique, and sometimes mind-bending that our teachers have to go through to be able to perform what we ask them to do. And so we had our foundation meeting on Monday night, and we reiterated that this is one of the highlights of the things that we get to do every year, to participate with the Rotary clubs here in Livermore and sort of double that effort. So that's exciting. We are committed to, if we need to, if we find that that later on this year, when the next round comes in, that there are more requests for grants than we have allotted in our budget. We will raise that. It was just me saying, yeah, let's raise it and try to help our teachers out, because I don't know about you guys, but having taught for a number of years, I can't imagine doing what we're asking these people to do, especially teachers that are either brand new or ones that have been around a long time, and changing up what they have to do is not an easy task. And every week they get a different message from all these different agencies, including those from the district, and it's mind bending at times and challenging. So again, thank you for letting us participate with you, and we look forward to doing this for many, many decades ahead.
Thanks, David, for your kind words. We received 23 applications totaling $12,809. Rotary granted 18 grants for a total of $5,367, and LVF contributed $3,467 for matching grants. The total grants for this meeting was $8,834. We have 15 award winners on Zoom with us. 3 could not attend due to school scheduling, and I have letters from those 3. So I'd like to start right now and welcome Livermore Little League. Megan Williams submitted the application, and I sponsored her. But I think Eddie Vega should be here from Livermore Little League, and their award was $600.
Hi, everyone. Yes, I am not Megan. I am Eddie Vaca. I'm the president of Livermore Little League. I do want to thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts for considering us for these scholarships. It goes a long way to helping kids. As you know, last year we were also a recipient of this. We were able to give 6 kids scholarships. Unfortunately, our league was cut short and we were shut down due to COVID in March. So we actually parlayed that into our fall program, where we had 8 weeks of instruction training for small cohorts of 120 kids that came out and played every Sunday in a very safe and social distanced manner, which also gave us the room to hopefully have a season this year where we could allow our kids back from behind the screen playing video games and onto the field playing baseball. So we really appreciate it. The kids appreciate it. Thank you very much. And also, other big news, we are building a brand new field at Jackson Elementary for our 4-, 5-, and 6-year-old kids. So they'll get a brand new field this year. And it's through contributions like this that allow us to give back to the community and give these kids an opportunity to play a sport. Well, I definitely love, but I'm sure you guys do too. So thank you again from all of us at Livermore Little League.
Thank you very much, Eddie. We appreciate you being here. Tri-Valley Reach, Kay King, so come on board, please. Kay here?
Okay, yes, I am. I wanted to unmute. Can you all hear me all right?
You're fine.
Thumbs up, great. Okay, thank you, Mary. I'm Kay King. I'm on the board of Tri-Valley Reach, and on behalf of the board and of course the clients that we serve, which are adults with developmental disabilities, we are extremely grateful. Your club, you've been a supporter of ours for many years now, and we are extremely grateful, and definitely don't take it for granted, because there are so many well-deserving nonprofits in our community that are making a huge difference. So a little bit about Reach, just real brief. We've been around probably since 1989, and we started in Livermore with one small home that had a couple of tenants. And the focus has always been from the very beginning on inclusion for an adult with a developmental disability through independent living. And this is long before it was socially responsible or even mandated by law. So we've grown from that one home now to 11 properties, 5 are in Livermore and 6 in Pleasanton. And we serve 36 tenants currently. And over the years, that's 30 plus years, that's hundreds of individuals. So those who aren't necessarily all that familiar with the special needs world, the word independent living may not mean a lot, but for an adult with a developmental disability, it is truly life-changing. being able to live independently helps them gain confidence. They develop responsibilities. They learn how to care for themselves. And most importantly, learning life skills. So they are able then to navigate going out into the world and becoming contributing members of our society. And many of our tenants do actually work not only in the Livermore community as Pleasanton. So a big part of that is keeping the homes that we have well maintained. They're older, and every year we have minor repairs, some major repairs. But last year we did a certified home inspection of all 11 properties and came up with quite a significant list. Not all of it was mandatory to do, but we prioritized it. And in Livermore in particular, what we identified in grants that we went to your organization for was upgraded flooring. And so in the properties, we will be taking out that old carpet and putting in the vinyl planking or engineered wood, if you will. And from the tenant's perspective, they love it because it's easier to keep clean. And from Reach's perspective, we love it because it's easier in terms of expenses. We don't have to go financing carpet cleaning a couple of times a year. So just a very heartfelt thank you to all of you. You're like, just listening to that song, I think it's really amazing how everybody comes together, and I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kate, for all your background information. Now, Maryland Avenue School, Amy Zendeha.
Hi.
Hi, Amy.
Yes, hi. Hi, thank you so much for having me. Yes, my name is Amy Zendejas. I teach first grade at Maryland Avenue School, and we're a K-5 school, and I really appreciate 70 whiteboards that
We lost you.
Amy, you put yourself on mute, I think.
Yes, I did. Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I'm not really sure where I left off, but I'll just say again, thank you so much for the whiteboards that you gave our, there's 3 teachers, first grade teachers at Maryland Avenue that these are going to go for. We sent home supplies every month during this time of COVID, and we sent home our whiteboards at the beginning of the year because whiteboards are allows the students to quickly write, erase, and rewrite what they're working on, and it gives them a larger space to work out their ideas, and it's a very effective tool. And we didn't necessarily want to get them back, so so this is very helpful for us because we use them every day, multiple times a day, and whiteboards support student collaboration and brainstorming, and they increase student engagement, and they're just a very valuable tool. So we're very appreciative of this, and they will definitely be going to good use. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Amy, very much. We love Maryland Avenue School. Next, we have another Maryland Avenue School, Cindy Twist. So Cindy.
Hi, good afternoon, Rotary Club members. I am also from Maryland Avenue, as Miss Mary said. I teach the special day class for students with severe disabilities. Thank you to your funding. I will be using the money to prepare my classroom for when the children come back in hybrid or otherwise to help keep them safe. I will be purchasing large and small bins so that the children's materials can be kept at their tables and separated from each other to help create a safer environment. After the pandemic, I do have plans to reuse them for storage of units and being more organized, as well as sensory bins. So yet not the most glamorous of things to purchase, but very necessary to help keep our children safe in this interesting time. I just want to thank you so much for your support and your willingness as a club to look out for our greater and smaller community, especially at Maryland. So from the bottom of all of our hearts, and Room 30, thank you very much for your generosity.
Thank you, Cindy, for all that you do for your students. Now, Joe Mitchell for Talita Brandeo.
Hi, yes, I'm Talita Suasuna Brandel, Miss Suasuna at school. And this is my second year teaching ever. So it's been quite a change from last year, which was my first year teaching, and this year, which I feel it's again my first year teaching. And the donation you guys made, it's so important because as I was starting to teach, I noticed all these limited budgets to buy art material, which I was not really expecting when I start teaching. And I do like to purchase a lot of quality materials to make sure every kid has at least, you know, the basics to start the projects. So with your donation, I'm going to be able to make more of those art kits that I make every trimester. I make about 130 art kits per trimester, and I do that all by myself. It takes me quite a few weeks to prepare everything, but when I give this to the students, they just feel so happy that they have. Some of them don't have anything at home. So it's really important to make sure they have those art materials to continue their art education, which is so important for themselves. So thank you so much. I'm super grateful for all of you, and gonna continue working with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Talita, and thank you for encouraging the artistic nature of our students. Granada High School, Alexandria Jonda.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Rotarians, for selecting my grant for our animation students. It is just an honor to be selected and to be here. Let me tell you a little bit of what that is going to. So the arts, I can totally relate with Talita. The arts has been under such a strain during the pandemic. Usually students are in the classroom and different students can share the same cameras. I also teach video productions. And this year has put such a strain on our devices because now each kid needs to have their own separate device and their own computer, their own camera, their own software, and we literally ran out of money in our budget. So when it came to animation, every student, which used to be able to share a light box, now each one needs to have their own. So this enables us to continue one of our animation classes. The light boxes will be used so students can draw traditional hand-drawn animation as you would have seen in the old Disney classic films, Snow White, even Lion King. The animators drew each paper frame by frame, and they'll be taking pictures of that. And some of them, I have a TA now, he's going to be majoring in animation. He's been accepted to 2 colleges already. So some of this will be their future careers. And if it's not even their careers, the arts is such a therapeutic thing for students right now. They're suffering from so many mental health conditions, being on these screens, being away from their friends, and the arts are an outlet where they can feel creative and feel in the zone. And so this is such a blessing to our students.
Thank you very much, Alexandria. What a great project. That's wonderful. The next one is the Croce School Library, Chrissy Meeks. She's not able to be here because she had to teach, so she sent me a letter. She says, thanks to your generosity, I'll be using the Rotary funds to purchase much needed books for my library. I am new to the library media specialist position at Croce and have inherited a well-loved collection that desperately needs to be updated. Physical books are now more important than ever, considering all the time students are spending in front of a screen every day. Reading is a crucial tool in the educational success of our students, and getting new and exciting books into the hands of my students gives them access to that success, along with the personal enjoyment that can only be found when you've lost in a book. Thank you again so much for your generosity and support. I will send pictures of the books purchased so you can see the impact you've made. So that was from Chrissy Meeks, a very nice letter. And the next one is Our Savior Lutheran School. And the recipient, Renee Neal Jocelyn, she could also not be here with us today because of her teaching schedule. So here's a letter. I would like to thank you for the generous grant that you approved for materials that will be used for my 3rd and 5th and 4th grade science classes. Research shows that if students are not exposed to science learning by 4th grade, their interest may be lost. Therefore, in order to make science come alive and get students turned on to science in and out of the classroom, students need to experience hands-on activities. During the present time, additional science materials are needed for at-home instruction, for which I did not have sufficient funding. With your grant money, I will be able to purchase materials for the students to build electric circuits and electromagnets. The students will also receive materials to learn about sound waves and experience light through prisms. So anyway, that was from Renee Neal Jocelyn, and good luck with her project. It sounds great. Next, we have Teen Esteemed Linda Turnbull. Are you there, Linda?
I am. Thank you. And thank you so much, Carolyn and the Rotary Club of Livermore. We are so grateful for the funds that you've provided for Teen Esteem. The good news is we have been able to engage students since the fall. We have created a virtual program. We normally go into the format of a, excuse me, 9th grade health class and into the middle school classrooms and just talk to kids about making healthy choices. And we have created a virtual Zoom presentation. We're actually going to be at Granada tomorrow and tomorrow and Friday. And we overall will probably be speaking close to about 1,000 students in the Livermore School District for this school year. And as we all know, this pandemic is hitting families and students very hard, especially with the remote learning. And we have actually adapted a part of our program where we're really addressing the reality of what kids are struggling with. I can tell you that in just the last 2 months in our community, I'm aware of 4 kids that we've lost, high school students. Kids are under a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, and a lot of thoughts of suicide. And so we are absolutely engaging these conversations, trying to give kids hope, trying to give them encouragement, trying to give them tools on how to cope with the anxiety and panic attacks, and giving them resources if they're really struggling. So we are so grateful for the funds from the Rotary Club, because what we're doing is we are also creating videos that we're using along with our presentations to engage students. And we're also providing these videos to teachers to use as a supplement to their curriculum. So thank you so much for helping us just touch these students right now in an area where many of them are really struggling.
Thank you, Linda, very much for letting us know all about this project. Del Val High School, Paul Grafeshi.
Hi, Rotarians. Thank you, Mary Ann. I want to thank you for your generous grant, for your continued support, both Rotary and Livermore Valley Education Foundation. So a little bit of what I do, we pick up and have donated to us used bikes from practically all over the Bay Area right now. And I teach the students how to fix the bikes, how to do a rehab, how to do a tune-up, fix flats. And we fix them and we give them away. With the support of Livermore Rotary and many other folks, we are in our 7th year, I believe, right now. And we have fixed and given away over 1,300 bikes to members of our community and surrounding communities. We could not do that without you guys. That's very grateful. with this money, I will be getting a electrostatic gun, although the district does do the cleaning. With this electrostatic gun and the chemicals, I can also sterilize the bikes before people pick them up after they come out of our storage when they're ready. I am very blessed enough to have cohorts, so I have students 4 days a week, 2 and 2 different groups, come on campus, which allows them a little normalcy in their life as well. It is a crazy time, and it's a team esteem. Terry, you guys are, or Linda, I'm sorry. That's very awesome what you're doing. And I'll talk forever, so I'll stop. But Rotary, thank you.
Thank you, Paul, very much. And actually, I have a bike to donate to you, so I'll get back with you.
Okay.
Livermore High School, Marianne Borst.
Hi, everyone. I'd want to thank you very much for your funds. Part of the biggest problem with art teachers right now is that we usually do shared supplies between 2 or 3 classes. For example, my brushes used to be shared by 3 classes, and now all of a sudden I have to send out supply containers to each child containing the supplies they need. So this particular funding will go directly towards watercolor sets, brushes for kids, mixing trays and things like that to get them off the computer but still have work to do, and have enough for 120 sets instead of 30, which is what I usually have, and having to pack and refresh those boxes and replace things that are broken and stuff like that every trimester is quite a task. So we really appreciate you. And then the Livermore Valley Education Foundation and Rotary have been really nice to us in the past. I just thought I'd take a second in my 10 years of being part of Livermore Valley Joint Unified School District to say thank you so much for the things we haven't forgotten, like the see-through rulers that the kids used for 5 years before they finally wore out, the projector, which we still use to project all our stuff onto the wall, a color printer so we can print out color images so that when kids want to paint something, they can actually paint something in color instead of from a black and white photo, right? A camera so we can take pictures of all our artwork and put it up on the internet. And these supplies, along with several other sections of supplies you've given me, like colored pencils, other brushes, paint, and assorted things over the years. So thanks a lot. We haven't forgotten, and we appreciate all your help.
Thanks, Marion, for all of your creativity. Maryland Avenue School, Amy Jackson.
Yes, hi, my name is Amy Jackson, and I am the science specialist at Maryland Avenue. I teach grades 1st through 5th, and this project that you were so generously funded for me will help myself, but it will also help my other partner science teacher who teaches our SDC classes. So right now, students are learning from home, and most of them have to do their science work on their own. We provide them lessons and we push them out, and then they have independent work that they have to do on their own. So this grant money will allow me to purchase a whole school subscription to a website called Generation Genius. It has these amazing science videos that breaks down the content so students can understand it. For the younger kids, it has lots of songs to teach them things like photosynthesis and help them remember the large vocabulary that goes along with science. It also has very easy to follow do-it-yourself activities that they can then try to do at home as well. Practice pages, just very rich material that they can access on their own. So this will help me in being able to push out really engaging assignments for them that they do on their own. So I just really appreciate the funding for this project. This means that all the students at Maryland Avenue can have access to this awesome science material. Many other schools in town have been able to purchase this for their school. So I'm just really grateful that Maryland Avenue students can have something that their peers have as well. So thank you so much for your generosity in funding my project.
Thank you very much, Amy, for all the information about your project. Danica Wu is also from Maryland Avenue School and couldn't come because of her teaching schedule. So here's her note. My name is Danica Wu, and I teach science to the special day class students at Maryland Avenue, and I'm always looking for ways to introduce and excite them about science. I already use videos and songs and hands-on activities, and I'm wanting to add me reading books to them. This grant will allow the purchase of grade-specific books aligned to the new NGSS standards and to create a library that focuses on the level of these special students. I look forward to reading these books to the students both live in class and by making recordings to nurture their love of science. So sorry Danica could not be with us. Okay, next is Arroyo Seco Elementary, Christy Barcelona. Christy on board? Oh, I don't see her, although she did respond that she was going to be able to come. Let's just move on to Croce Elementary School. Christine Ranovich. So please pronounce it right for me.
Thank you, Marianne. My name is Christine Ranovix.
Yeah.
Everybody messes it up, but it looks kind of how it's spelled. And I'm a third grade teacher at Leo Croce Elementary School. And I want to thank you so much for funding this grant for me. With this grant, I was able to take my class of third graders on a virtual field trip to the Tenement Museum, which is located on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. And this field trip brought to life for my kids the challenges that immigrants to our country faced when they came here at the turn of the century. And it correlated with this novel that we were reading in school. And so it just really brought it to life for them. And beyond that, it was honestly just so fun to do something different during remote learning. Like, who would have ever thought we'd get to all go to New York together? And I just really think it made an impact on my students. And I think it'll be a positive memory for them during this like very unusual school year. And I just really appreciate all your support. And we miss you getting to bring us the dictionaries this year. But thanks for everything. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Christine. That sounded like a really fun trip for the kids. Altamont Creek Elementary, Jolie Holmes.
Hi, my name is Jolie Holm, and my grant is for lap desks. They are just little plastic desks that go over the kids' laps. I am very fortunate that I have 9 kindergartners who come in for an hour in the afternoons to the actual classroom, which is amazing. But in order to keep them 6 feet apart, I cannot have my normal tables and desks in the classroom. So one of the things that we really struggle with in kindergarten is learning how to write and form our letters and form our numbers. So having these lap desks is really going to help with that. So I appreciate getting this grant. This is actually my 3rd one from you guys. So you are always there when I need something, and it's amazing and wonderful. And I thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Jolie. And we're always very happy to help you with your project. Thank you. Livermore High NGN Club, and we have 2 that should be with us, Karen Fletcher and Karen Samatani.
Yes, hi. I'm Karen Fletcher, and I'm a teacher at Livermore High, and thank you so much to Rotary and LVEF for this grant. Karan Samtani is the club president for NGN, and he's here today, and he's going to explain the project to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Karan Samtani, and first of all, thank you so much for the funding. And I'm here with my grant author, Evan Ree. And a little bit of background about our project here is that for our club, we focus on solving world issues. And this year we chose solving education and how some of our departments at school are severely underfunded. And one example is art. And after dwelling on that idea, we came up with an idea to help fund these art departments. And what we came up with was finding art departments in schools and having the children in those art departments make cards and give us those cards, which we will make a website for, and we will sell them online. and we'll use a variety of advertising methods to sell these cards online. And through that, we will raise money, and with whatever revenue we make, we will try and directly fund those art departments in those schools. So thank you so much for your money, and hopefully we can do some good with it.
Thank you very much, Karan, for letting us know about your project. It's very interesting. Vineyard Avenue Alternative School, Gretchen Reynolds and Sonoma Calkin.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sonoma Calkins, and I have been in Girl Scouts for 12 years, and I'm currently working on my Gold Award Community Service Project. I just wanted to thank you so much for this grant, and I'll be working with the science teacher at Vineyard Alternative School, Ms. Reynolds, on a garden to create a place for students to learn and also reduce stress. The grant will be used to provide the materials that will be used in the garden. And the garden will be used for educational purposes and will also be a place where students and staff can go to read a book, relax, and feel comfortable, especially with the online learning and how stressful it can be. It will definitely provide a place of relaxation. And this garden will bring students and staff together when we can hopefully go back to school. And I just wanted to thank you so much again for this grant. It will truly be put to great use.
Thank you very much, Sonoma. We're going to look forward to seeing your garden when it's done, so please send us pictures, okay? Okay, that's our 15 that are here today, and I'd like everyone to give them applause. They won't hear it, but I'm applauding for the great work that they're doing. I want to thank all of our award winners that could be present with us today. It was so terrific learning what the grants will accomplish for students as well as the community. We're looking forward to more outstanding applicants for our third session, which are due the first Wednesday in March. We recognize the need for our schools and our community are going to be more intense this year due to the limiting effects of COVID-19 as budgets are impacted. The grant committee looks forward to filling as many gaps as we can for worthy projects with the remaining approximately $4,000 in our budget. It would be appreciated if you know of a teacher or a community organization that could use some assistance. Let any of us know on the committee. Our grants are up to 600, but for exceptional grant applications, the funding will go up to 1,000. They go up to 1,000. Again, I want to thank all that were here today and for sharing with us today. It was really wonderful to hear. So with that, and your checks will be coming to you very, very shortly. I have them in my hand to send out to you. So President Carolyn, I'm returning the meeting to you.
Thank you very
Carolyn?
much, Marianne. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for, I'm inspired by all of the teachers and the nonprofit service providers who have really adapted and pivoted in response to the needs for during this pandemic to serve those students and those most vulnerable in our community. And a great big thank you to Marianne and her committee, but also to every one of our club members. I need to highlight for you that all of these grants that we're funding this round for our winter club grants are being funded from our lunch money fund. So it is our club members' direct generosity that's allowing us to support all this wonderful work in our community. So thank you very much for your generous contributions to that fund. And as Marianne announced, we will have a spring round as well. And those funds will be coming from that lunch money fund. And so that's why that's a critical fund for our club in lieu of our fundraising efforts that we would have had through the crab feed and the rodeo parade. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for all of the hard work to our grant recipients that you're doing out in the community. And I look forward to seeing you next week. And next week is the inauguration day. So we continue to look forward to seeing our country's democracy in action. Thank you very much, everybody. See you next week.